In 2021, when we started the test series for RBI DEPR Phase-I Exam, our intent was clear. We wanted to make it the best test series available for DEPR Phase-I Exam. 2 years down the line, ask anyone and people will tell you that the best test series for DEPR Phase-I Exam is offered by Testonomics. Today, when we are beginning the full-length course for DEPR 2024 exam, our intent is still the same. This course has to be the best video course being offered for this exam. And 1 year down the line, hopefully that's what we will hear. This video is meant for anyone who is considering enrolling in this course. In this video, we will try to give you an overview of this course and answer the queries that we have received in the past few days. After watching this video carefully, if you still have any queries, please feel free to mention them in the comments and we will answer them. So let's go ahead. This is the outline of this video. First, we will mention the course fee and discounts. Then we will discuss the topics covered in this course. After that, we will understand how to utilize this course to cover the PFRDA, SEBI, NABARD and other exam syllabus conducted for economics specialists. And then we will mention the procedure to opt for this video. Moving on. The fee for the full course is Rs 32,000 and like always, there will be a launch offer discount valid till IES 2023 final result. And in case the final result is not released by 31st December, we will be extending this last date. Okay. So that means till this particular date, you will be able to avail the discount and you will be able to enroll in this course at a discounted fee of Rs 24,000. Okay. So now what are the components of this course? What are the different subjects that we will be discussing? We will be discussing all those subjects which are needed to cover the syllabus of RBI DEPR exam. Mathematics for economics, basic statistics and econometrics, microeconomics, public finance, environmental economics, macroeconomics, international economics, growth and development, Indian economy and English essay. So even this year, we got many requests for a course on Indian economy. Although we could not have a complete course, we tried to discuss all the important topics through the English essay course, right? So we understand that a candidate who is relatively new to the examination space can face challenges in covering the Indian economy portion. After all, it is so vast and sometimes people get lost in deciding what to cover, from where to cover. Don't worry, in this course, we will do justice to this particular subject as well. And you will have a good understanding of what to cover and from where to cover. Okay. Now, Phase-I test series of economics as well as English descriptive is also included in this complete course. Please note that the Phase-II test series, that is the test series for descriptive economics papers, is not a part of this complete course and it will be available separately in the next year. And please note that the fee that you are going to pay is going to be non-refundable under all circumstances. So whatever the circumstances, the fee will be non-refundable. Okay. Now, there are a few other things that we want to clarify about this particular course. First thing, all videos will be available only on the app and all mock tests will be available only through the website. That means if you want to attempt a mock test, you will have to log in through the browser and attempt those. Validity will be 12 months from the date of enrollment. So if you enroll, let's say on 20th August 2023, this particular course will be valid till 20th August 2024. Okay. Approximately that time. 1 day here and there, right? And only one device will be allowed to log in from. So please note that the content will be good. Don't doubt the quality of content. And these days, it is almost a fashion to call your own content best quality content. I understand that, right? So do not worry about the content part. I assure you that you will like the content, right? It will be suited to a beginner. That means someone who feels underconfident with any of the subjects. The content will be built in a manner that you will be explained the basics first, and then you will be taken to the higher concepts, right? So even if you are a beginner, this course you will enjoy learning from. Holistic coverage of the topics, I think this is clear. Mentorship support. So this means that if you get stuck somewhere thinking how to go about preparing any one particular portion or any other doubt regarding preparation in general, your strategy or something of that sort, if you have, you can drop us a message and we can schedule a phone call. We can talk about it, right? Now, please note that there will be only pre-recorded classes. There will be no live classes from our end. There will be e-assignments, regular e-assignments to evaluate your progress. Most probably this will be per topic, okay? There will be no PDF notes from our side and there will be no individual doubt support. Please understand that if you are going to appear for this particular examination, you should not be dependent on notes being provided by anyone else. You already have a very good set of books available with you, right? Now, before you enter the examination hall, you will need to remember the syllabus of all these subjects. If you rely on notes, there's a high probability that you will miss out. So you do not rely on anyone else's notes, rather prepare your own notes. Spend time in preparing your own notes. We will also assist you in preparing your own notes. We will try to dictate notes during the class. That means by the end of the class, you will have a decent set of self-written notes ready for you. Of course, if you want to expand on it, ideally you should read from other sources that particular topic. And if you want to expand on your notes, note it down there itself. So that for a particular topic, you have all the notes written at one place only. Right. Now let's move ahead. Old students naturally have a higher discount available, and even this is valid till the IAS result only. The idea behind these discounts is clear. Even though this is the first time we are offering a full course, we have offered the test series and individual courses earlier as well. So if there is any candidate who had enrolled in any of our initiative earlier, but could not clear the DEPR exam that year and wants to appear for the DEPR 2024 exam with us under full guidance, then they can avail this. So these discounts are dependent on how many courses or initiatives you were enrolled in earlier. So let's say there's a candidate who was enrolled only in statistics course of that last year. That means that candidate will fall in this category, and accordingly, this is the additional discount which that candidate is eligible for. Now, be clear that to determine this discount, the base price is going to be the fee for during this period. So the fee actually is this much. For this particular period, there is a 25% discount. That means the fee will be 24,000. That is the base for determining these discounts. That means a candidate who was in this category is going to pay 24,000 minus 7,500. That is going to be the fee for this candidate till this particular date. Okay. Similarly, let's say there's a candidate who has enrolled in many initiatives and has paid more than 15,000. Then that candidate can avail a discount of 10,000 rupees, and this entire course will be available to that candidate at a fee of rupees 14,000. Right. Similarly, I think other categories, this portion should be self-explanatory already. Now, the only thing which you should keep in mind is that we will be sending you the discount codes, and suppose after receiving the discount code, you feel that you have not got the correct discount code. For example, because we will be determining the discount code based on what you have paid so far. Now, the payment can be on app as well as on website. And if you have used different names, there might be some error in the discount code that you will get. So from this table, you already understand how much discount you are eligible for. And if you do not get the correct code, please communicate and take the correct code from us. Drop us a Telegram message and we will assist you. Suppose you get a discount code of more amount than what you are eligible, then you can keep it. Maybe it's your luck, right? So now I think this should be clear. If you have any doubts, please feel free to drop us a message. Moving on. If there is any candidate who does not want to enroll in full course, there is also an option to avail individual courses. The fee for the same is already mentioned. I think this is self-explanatory. Whenever these courses are launched, there will be some discount offer. For new student, it will be 10%. For old student, it will be 25%. Please note that these discount codes will be valid only till the mentioned date. After that, these discount codes will not be valid. So these codes will generally be valid for a period of 2 to 3 weeks from the date these particular courses are launched. Okay. Anyone who was enrolled in test series of last year, phase 1 test series only of economics, if they want to continue only in the test series even for 2024, then there is an option that they can extend the validity by paying rupees 1000. What is the procedure and all that? We will tell you in November when we will start this test series. One more thing which you should be clear of, suppose any candidate enrolls in any of these individual courses and later wants to migrate to the full course. That will not be feasible. So please be very sure of the decision that you are making. If you have any doubt, please feel free to drop us a message. We can discuss that and clarify your doubts. But we don't want to get into a situation wherein you get into an individual course first and then want to move to full length course. And the idea is simple. The whole logic of having a discount on the full length course is to reduce our compliance burden. If you are going via individual courses, it does not reduce our compliance burden. There are many transactions. There will be many GST returns. We have to file GST returns for all of them, and we don't want to get into all that. Okay. So now let's move ahead. I think this portion is absolutely clear. So what are the topics covered in each of these courses? Let's discuss that now. The topics will be decided keeping in mind the 2023 DEPR syllabus, and all topics mentioned in the syllabus will be covered. So this is the list of topics in front of you. All these topics we will be covering. Suppose you have any doubts regarding any subtopic. For example, if you have any topic in mind and you want to know whether that will be covered, you can drop us a message and get that clarity before joining the course if you want. Okay. So all these topics we will be covering. Moving on. Similarly, for the phase 2 papers, all these topics mentioned will be covered in the course. Right? This is the microeconomics module. Now let's have a look at the next module. Macroeconomics module, all these topics will be covered. Similarly, for the quantitative methods, all these topics will be covered. And if you, like I just mentioned, if you want to know which all topics, which all subtopics will be covered under any, which is not written clearly here. If you want to get clarity, please drop us a message here and we'll be able to answer you. Moving on. Now, for Indian economy, the case is slightly different. The reason is because for DEPR, generally, the focus has been on current affairs portion. However, when you're going for other exams, let's say you're going for IAS exams, in that case, you need to prepare static portion as well. As a result, for the Indian economy portion, we plan to cover the static portion as well as the current affairs portion. So, of course, all these things will be covered. But in addition, we will try to cover the static portion as well, right? So let's move ahead. This is the Indian economy syllabus of IAS exam, and by preparing our course for Indian economy, we will be trying to cover at least 80 to 90% of all these topics. So we might have to leave out some small little topic here and there, but majority and overwhelming majority, that is about 90 to 80% of syllabus written here will be covered in the Indian economy portion. Moving ahead. Similarly, for other papers and other examinations as well, this course will cover majority of the syllabus. For example, just pick up GE paper 1 syllabus of IAS and you will see most of the things are common, and this particular course will cover that particular syllabus as well. However, keep in mind that the coverage of paper 2 of IAS and paper 3 of IAS will be relatively lower, right? Similarly, this is the syllabus of PFRDA 2022 Research Economics Stream Exam. In 2022 and in 2021, PFRDA has recruited for economics discipline also. Only one vacancy, but they have recruited, right? So whether they will do it this year or not, we'll have to wait and see. Similarly, SEBI, NABARD, they have recruited under economics discipline in recent past. Now, what is the right approach for these examinations? We already know that because the number of vacancies is far lower, so it does not make sense to sit for these exams for the entire year. In fact, it is not even required. Just see the syllabus. You will see that most of this syllabus is already covered with your DEPR syllabus. The only thing remaining out is this portion. So these things you can even cover once the notification is released, because from the day of notification till the day of your phase 1 exam, you generally get at least 40 days. That's more than enough to complete this portion if this portion is ready. Similarly, when we see the approach for other examinations, be it SEBI, be it NABARD, what is the right approach? See, you have to be ready with your basic static portion. Once this portion is ready, then just wait for the notification. When the notification comes, then prepare all the exam related stuff and you will be good to go. Most people who are clearing the exam in this way are far better compared to other candidates who are not able to prepare this portion. That's where candidates lack, because the tendency for most candidates is when the notification is out, then they pick up syllabus and then they begin preparing this portion. Next, SEBI syllabus is out. When SEBI exam is out, then they again prepare this syllabus. What is the reason? Because they are not preparing this syllabus properly in one go. The ideal approach is prepare this entire syllabus in one go. It should be so well prepared that in order to prepare this again, you just need 1 or 2 rounds of revision. That's the ideal approach. So if you see the syllabus for other exams, you will see a similar trend. See this SEBI syllabus for 2022. You will see that this portion, majority of it is covered from other examination, be it DEPR, be it IAS. Okay. Only this portion is getting left out. And again, this portion is easily preparable after the notification. Right. So the bottom line that I'm trying to convey is you have to pick up one exam that you want to target for the next year. That can be the IAS exam, that can be RBI DEPR exam, whichever suits your interest the most. Pick up one exam and target that exam with full energy. Give everything to that exam. All other exams also you should appear for in an ancillary way. For example, suppose SEBI does not release a notification in the next 3 months and it is released, let's say, around January of next year. Theoretically only, we do not know when it is coming. So let's say this syllabus, you're already prepared till January. Now, when the notification is out, then you are in a very good position to appear even for SEBI exam. Okay. So that's what the approach is. You have to pick up one exam which you want to target with complete energy, and all other exams also you should appear for. That's mandatory for people who are giving these exams, because all the exams conducted by IBPS, they are so related. They are so common that if you appear for one exam, your preparation for all other exams is also getting done. Let's take the example of PNB exam only, which was conducted on 2nd July 2022. 2023. So people who have appeared for it under economics discipline now have their interview coming up. That means they have appeared for one exam. So clearing that exam gives some confidence. Plus the same kind of questions they will see in other exams also. For example, let's say for a particular exam, if you prepare English descriptive portion. Now, English descriptive portion is being asked in all exams almost. So whether it is SEBI, whether it is NABARD, whether it is PFRDA, it's not going to change much, right? So that's why, again, pick up one exam, target it with full energy, and all other exams also you should appear for. Moving ahead, this is the NABARD syllabus. Last, I think it was conducted in 2020 for economic specialist. Of course, NABARD has been hiring every year, but in the last 2 cycles, they did not hire anyone under specialist economics category. Whether they will hire in the next round or not, we do not know. Let's wait and see. But this is the syllabus. So if you just see the syllabus, most of it again is already getting covered from your DPR syllabus. Only some bit of things which are remaining out, which can easily be prepared from the time the notification is released. So if the notification is released and if there are vacancies for specialist economic post in these particular exams, NABARD, SEBI, PFRDA, we will discuss the leaving out portion, the portion which is being left out in a separate video. For the moment, that's all we wanted to communicate, that you have to pick up one exam and target it with full energy, but at the same time, give all other exams, right? So now let's move ahead in this particular video. The next thing that we want to see is the timeline for the RBI DEPR course. So this is the timeline which we have planned. I think it is self-explanatory. Just go through it. So as per this timeline, we are going to end the video course syllabus around 15 Jan. And to be on a safer side, let's just keep another 15 to 20 days with us. So consider that the syllabus is getting complete around the beginning of February. Okay, that's what should be in your mind. Now, one more thing which you should keep in mind is that during this period, we will be focusing on video courses only. From November onwards, we will be beginning with the phase 1 test series on economics. Its schedule and all, we will be releasing it separately. Now, for the English descriptive full-length test, these will be conducted around the time notification is released. So we'll wait for the final notification, and only after the final notification will we be conducting these English descriptive tests. For the phase 1 test series on objective questions, this portion we will be announcing the exact date of starting on our Telegram channel. Right. So now let's move ahead. Please pay special attention to this slide. The outcome of this course depends on our efforts as well as yours. From our side, we will try our best to give you the best content possible. At the same time, we also expect you to exert efforts from your end. Remember that you have to follow the right path if you want to reach the right destination. That begins from the first step of watching the video without distraction. See, you're not a kid anymore, so I don't have to tell you all these things, but at the risk of repetition, I feel it is my duty to communicate these points as well. So please watch the video without distraction. It's not as if कि एक हाथ में device है जिस पे video देख रहे हैं, दूसरे हाथ में phone है जिस पे WhatsApp चल रहा है, and all those things. When you sit down to watch the video, it should be without distraction. It should be as if you are in a class. During the class, we will be dictating some notes, and at the end of the class, we expect that you will be having a decent set of self-written notes with you. So you have to begin with a fresh notebook for each subject. Prepare notes during the class. In the initial videos, we will be telling you again and again, note down this, note down this, note down this. After a point, that will become less frequent. But remember, you have to note down all important stuff. We do not intend to give you any PDF notes. Self-written notes is the best way when you are preparing for any exam. And even if you are enrolling anywhere else for the video course, please remember that you have to prepare your own notes. Do not rely on the typed notes given to you. It is not the best of ways to remember the text. It is not the best of ways to prepare for the exam. So once you have done these 2 steps, you would have watched the video and you would be having some self-written notes ready. The third step involves reading the textbook. In each video, we will specify the textbook to be referred to. So read that textbook. Then the next step is to exert some individual effort. That means after reading this particular textbook, suppose you feel that okay, you have some doubts that you want, and you feel, let's say, that although you have understood what has been communicated in the class, but you feel underconfident about this particular topic. In that situation, you might want to exert some individual efforts. What do I mean by that? So you might want to refer to some other books. You might want to search for some questions. And these individual efforts do not come into picture only when you have doubts. They are mandatory for each class. So let's say you've covered a particular class and you understood it. You have some notes ready, but read other textbooks. See, in a college exam, what happens is book is specified, which is a part of syllabus. So questions come from that book only. So it is easy to make the video course in a way that all those things get covered. So for a college level exam, even if you have not read the book, it can work. But now the book is not specified. Questions, although the tentative books or some guidance books have been told, but it's not necessary that question will come from those books only, right? If Pindic has been told, question can very well come from Snyder. So once you have read a topic from one particular book, it is your duty to go back to all other similar books. For example, just flip through the pages of other books. Let's say you prepared Monopoly and you've read Pindic. Just flip through the pages of Snyder. Just flip through the pages of Ahuja and see you do not miss out any important detail. If you feel you find an information which you have missed out, note that down in your notebook there itself. So before the next class, you have to do all this. Suppose you search for some assignments online and you find some questions which you feel, this was a difficult question which was not covered in the class. Note down those questions there itself with the class notes of Monopoly only. Once your notes are fine, once your notes are complete, revise these class notes before the next class. This is a very crucial important step. Remember that on the day of exam, you have to keep in mind the syllabus of many subjects, right? That will happen only if you have revised the syllabus multiple times, maybe 10 times, maybe 20 times. Once you revise the syllabus 15, 20 times, you will feel that you know almost everything. You will feel very comfortable while attempting the questions. You will feel very, very comfortable while attempting mock tests, right? So this is a very important step. You have to exert maximum efforts at revising what you have read. And in fact, trust me, if you read something and if you revise it within the next 24 hours, it gets stuck to your brain much better. So these are the steps which we expect from you. And if you truly want to benefit from this video course, you are expected to follow these steps. Let's move ahead now. So I'll end this video with some suggestions. First, treat any video course or test series to be mentorship only. Before enrolling, please check if that course is expected to fulfill your needs. So you should understand your needs first. Pick up the syllabus, see all subtopics mentioned there. Then see if you want to prepare that on your own or you want to enroll in a video course. So decide your needs first and then decide how you want to fulfill your need. Remember, preparation आपको ही करनी है. Exam आप ही को देना है, right? No one else is going to give that exam for you. So you have to understand your needs first and then see how you want to fulfill them. Now, for a newcomer, I understand it can be difficult to evaluate what is the right approach, what is not the right approach. If you have any doubts, please feel free to drop a message on our Telegram number and we will be happy to talk to you. Next, fee is not non-refundable. I am laying stress on this because I don't want to get into the situation of increasing my administrative burden. So I handle my accounting on my own, and for any fee that has to be refunded, there are a lot of steps. Invoice cancellation, GST adjustment, all those things have to be done. And really, I am not going to get into all that. Okay. So that's why I'm emphasizing you have the time to think and take a decision. I'm not telling you that that discount is valid only for 2 days, hurry up and all that. You have time to think till the end of December. Of course, if you are sure, it is better to start early because you get more time to prepare. But if you are in doubt, you can take time to decide. That's okay. Next year, I don't want to see messages such as, oh, I am not eligible for this exam, so please issue a refund and all those things. See, if you feel you might not be eligible next year, then if you want to take that risk, you can considering waiting till the notification, right? Or if you feel that you may not be eligible next year for any reason, then it's your call if you are thinking of starting preparation now or waiting till the end. But again, you are accountable for that decision. It's not that you will be able to put it on us at the end of the day that because we are not eligible, so please issue a refund. So those things, this year we will not entertain. Last year we did. So this year we will not entertain. That's why I'm clearly telling you, emphasizing on this. And if we receive any request, we will just send you this screenshot. Okay. So think and take a decision, and it's best for you as well as for us. Focus on building conceptual clarity. It will help you in all the phases. अब ये तो obvious सी बात है, तो ये mention करने की क्या जरूरत है? जरूरत है, at least that's what I felt. The reason is because many a time candidates tend to prepare for phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3, that is the interview stage, separately. Somehow I have never liked that idea. I feel the preparation cannot be different for different phases, because if you have to prepare the same syllabus, preparation has to be a holistic one. For any definition, for any topic, you have to prepare the definition first. You have to understand the definition. Based on that definition, based on your understanding of that concept, you have to see how to draw the diagram. Once you understand the definition, once you understand the diagram, then you have to use that to solve numerical based questions. That's what the procedure is. So this is what will happen when you have conceptual clarity of concepts. Preparation cannot be different. It's not that numerical के लिए अलग preparation हो रही है. I do not agree with that. So if you feel that way, maybe we differ. So if someone is preparing numerical, I feel that is the last stage. So you have prepared definition, you have prepared diagram. So that means if someone is preparing for numericals, then that means if I give that person a descriptive question, that person should be able to write, because I feel that person has already prepared definition and diagram, right? So Of course, you can try to practice different types of numericals. That's a different question. But you cannot go to numericals without having a good understanding of definition and diagrams. If you do not have conceptual clarity, either at phase 1 or at phase 2 or at interview stage, there is a high probability that you will perform below your potential. Okay, so avoid that and try to build conceptual clarity from the initial stages only, irrespective of how you are preparing. Whether you are enrolled in any video course or not, that does not matter. Honestly, for a candidate who is preparing on his or her own, even that candidate can prepare, right? So it depends on where you are starting. Let's say a candidate who is very well already prepared with all concepts of undergraduation and post-graduation. That candidate may just go for the exam with a test series and still do well, right? So it depends on where you are starting. Most candidates who are clearing the exam without any guidance, even now, these candidates have taken some guidance when they were in undergraduation or post-graduation. So it's very difficult to find candidates who have not taken any guidance at any stage. So don't be hesitant to seek help if you need it. At the same time, if you do not need any help, do not be hesitant to walk the path on your own, right? Like I've already mentioned, before enrolling, understand your demands, understand your needs, and see if the course meets them. Your handwritten notes are most precious assets. Seriously, I mean, do not do not do not fall into the trap of thinking that if you are being provided typed notes, it is going to reduce your efforts. At the end of the day, only people who have revised that syllabus multiple times will do well. That requires your handwritten notes. Your handwritten notes will come very handy. It's possible that for some one topic, two topics, or a few topics, you can take some typed notes and work on improving them. That's possible. But when you're preparing the entire syllabus, you have the books already. That's already typed, right? So if you want to read from typed sources, you already have books. The purpose of notes is to condense that portion. And the thing is, when you're writing in the exam, only a candidate is in the best position to decide what that candidate wants to write for a particular question. For example, let's say you're preparing the concept of substitution effect and income effect. Okay, now book में सब typed मिलेगा. So typed ही चाहिए तो book पढ़ो. But for notes, now you have to decide if question comes on, let's say, explain substitution effect and income effect, how you want to frame the answer. Your notes should be in that way of how you want to frame an answer. One thing which you should remember is that it's not necessary that you have to prepare short notes from the very beginning only. So at this stage, let's distinguish between what we call detailed notes and what we call short notes. So detailed notes is something which are useful for understanding a topic. So let's say you're preparing the topic of substitution effect and income effect, and you are referring to multiple sources. Let's say you refer to a video course. Let's say you refer to 2-3 books, and you refer to some assignments online. Now, during the examination pressure, you will want to recall all these things. Recalling from different sources is always difficult. Just think of your brain. If you are stocking information at different places, it is difficult to retrieve it. You have to go to different places. It's best to stock it in one place. So you watched the video, made some notes. You can supplement it with some questions. That completes your detailed notes. You revise it 5-10 times, then you already understand what is already stuck to your brain and for what other portion you have to exert some effort. For example, let's say there is some fact, some formula, which you are not able to recall even after 5-10 rounds of revision. Then your short notes come handy. What is short notes? Short notes is absolutely concise and precise notes in which you write primarily facts and data points. So you prepare short notes with the purpose that just before the examination, let's say on the day before the exam, if you want to revise the entire syllabus, then detailed notes may not come in handy. So you might need some short notes for that. So generally, detailed notes you can prepare while you are studying. Okay. When you watch the videos, you are expected to prepare detailed notes before the examination, maybe sometime in January. At that time, you can consider preparing some short notes for subjects that you feel the need. हर subject के लिए short notes हो जरूरी नहीं होता. अगर आप, if you are, let's say, very comfortable in micro and macro detailed notes only, if you have revised your detailed notes, let's say 20 times, na, you will feel comfortable with detailed notes itself. Because if you have revised it 20 times, then 21st time when you have to revise those notes, you might be able to do for the entire subject within 1 day max, entire micro within 1 day, right? So you will be comfortable with your detailed notes if you have revised them multiple times. If not, you might want to make some short notes for quicker revision. That thing you can do at the end, somewhere around Jan or Feb, when you have done multiple rounds of revision of detailed notes. At this point of time, your focus should be on detailed notes, and they should be handwritten for most topics. Next, appear for all exams conducted for specialist economic discipline. Now, you do not know, in the near future, you might see some notification for SEBI, PFRDA, and NABARD exams. If they have posts for specialist economics discipline, please go and appear for it, even if that's not what interests you the most. Suppose you are absolutely adamant कि भाई मुझे तो बस RBI DEPR का ही नौकरी करनी है और कोई नौकरी मैं करूँगा ही नहीं और क्या करूँगी ही नहीं. Even in that case, go and appear for these exams. By at the most, you're going to spend whatever 1,000 rupees on each exam. कोई बात नहीं, treat it to be a mock test. Go and give. Unless you are absolutely short on cash and you cannot afford that money, that 1,000 rupee form fee, then it's a different issue. But if you can fill the form, go and appear. ये सब exams बहुत related होते हैं, आसपास ही होते हैं, और अगर syllabus बहुत common है. If you are preparing for one exam, you will feel that you are already preparing for other exam. An examination experience has its own value. You will be preparing for the English descriptive and all those portions multiple times. You get the hang of it once you appear for 2-3 exams. That's why appear for all these examinations if the notification mentions specialist course for economics discipline. Even if you do not want to do that job. By अगर आप SEBI में select हो गए and suppose you do not want to do that job for whatever reasons, trust me, top management of SEBI will not come to you and force you to join. You will have the option of declining the offer, right? But go through that process, you will learn a lot from it. And if these notifications come for economics discipline, we will discuss it in detail about how to prepare. Okay, moving ahead. So this question I often get asked. So especially candidates who've given 2 attempts, 3 attempts, they get that feeling whether to give the next attempt or to look for other options. Generally, if I was in your shoes, I would follow this approach. 1 year I will devote to serious preparation. Let's say once I have, so when I say 1 complete year, I do not mean कि सब सिर्फ preparation ही होगी इस साल. So let's say within the 4 or 5 month period, I prepare all subjects. Then I'll practice mock tests, both for objective and for descriptive. So by the time, let's say I complete 7 to 8 months, I would have completed my syllabus thoroughly. Most candidates make that mistake कि वो थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ा होता है, कभी एक सब्जेक्ट अच्छे से पढ़ा है, कभी दूसरा सब्जेक्ट छूट गया. These things keep happening. And again, if you are doing these things, then आप एग्जाम में भगवान भरोसे ही जा रहे हो कि भगवान मैंने जो टॉपिक पढ़ा है वो टॉपिक सिलेबस में आए और जो नहीं पढ़ा है वो नहीं आए. So when we do that, and honestly I'll tell you, almost all candidates do that. So it's not something कि बहुत problematic चीज सबके लिए हो जाती है. It's just that कि the candidates who have prepared most of the topics and left only a few, it might still work out for them. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. So if you are preparing for one full year, if you have taken a gap year for preparation, then at the end of that year, you should be thoroughly prepared. It's not कि तब भी ये लगे कुछ रह गया. That thing should not come about. So 1 year, devote sincerely to exams, and after 5-6 months of preparation, whatever forms are released for economics discipline, even before that, once you have decided you are going to do these jobs, once you see some forms for economics specialist discipline, fill them. Keep giving the exams. Don't think too much about it during the first year. Now, next year, suppose you do not clear for any exam during this year of preparation, and you're not even expected to, because this was your time you devoted sincerely to preparation. Next year, give all exams that you're interested in. Economics specialist, all exams. If you are interested in other exams also, you can give. Then 1 year of grace period. So sometimes it happens irrespective of how well you are prepared. You might not have been able to clear the exam for various reasons. Suppose उस दिन कुछ खराब हो गया. Suppose you missed out by a very small margin. So this is your grace period. In this period, you still continue to give the exams. But if you can think of something else, like what will be your next follow upon option if this does not work out, you should be continuing thinking of it. And suppose if, let's say, you find some source of income which is going to be helpful for you in the long term career path as well, and it requires, let's say, a few hours of preparation, not necessarily the entire day. So let's say you find RShip somewhere, and of course RShip are of different types. At some places, even if you work for 2-3 hours, it's going to be fine. At other places, you might be expected to devote the entire day. So in this third year, I would have already prepared, right? 1 or 2 years, I already spent time in preparation. So that means I do not need the entire day for my preparation. Even if I get 4-5 hours, it might work out. So during this year, I will want to find something else which is useful for me in the long run, as well as it is giving me some income. By being saying useful in the long run, not everything is useful in the long run. So depending upon your preferred career choice, you have to see whether the thing that you are using is useful in the long run or only in the short run, depending upon your circumstances. For example, let's say someone who needs to earn to support himself or herself or the family, then of course you will be seeing not just the long-term things, also the short-term thing, right? If you want to discuss any of your special circumstances separately, you can drop me a message, we can talk about it, right? So like this is the path I would have followed, and after 2-3 years, if I do not get through the kind of jobs I am looking for, I will think of other options. I will think of one option which is my base, which is like I am going to get it. So depending upon your situation, that can be different. So if you want to discuss your own case, we can discuss, right? So now, if you have followed this path, then this can work for you. But suppose you have spent 2 years already, but still you feel that you have not done your serious preparation already, then my suggestion will still be that spend 1 year of serious preparation, and it should be like the serious, absolutely serious preparation. You should not feel uske baad ki abhi aur kuch karna baki rahega. Okay. Statistical software, should you be knowing it? Of course, if you know it, it is useful. Many of the RShip jobs also ask for it. So once you have done with phase 1, phase 2 preparation, then you can think of this portion. But phase 1 nahi hua, phase 2 nahi hua, and if you're thinking of RBI exam only, then software may not be so useful unless you are planning to go for these RShip jobs also. Okay. So depending upon the need, your personal circumstances, you can consider learning the software if you do not know it already. Lastly, remember that 1 year is a very, very long period. You can completely transform your personality within that period. And trust me, I'm saying that with experience. And let me share my personal experience. When I had completed my undergraduation second year, I had no idea of what I wanted to do. I did not have anyone to guide me. So I just spoke to one of my professors and I asked him that, boss, I do not have any guidance. Tell me, what can I do after this? So after a brief discussion, I had decided to appear for MA entrance exams. And during that year, I had seriously prepared for it. So honestly, I'll tell you that I was studying in a college in which our class timings used to be around 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. That was my college timings. Okay. So I used to leave home at 8 a.m., go to a public library, sit there and study, do my own study. So around 12, I used to leave from there, go to college. After 5, I used to leave college and go to teach. So I used to teach from my college days only. I used to teach school children at that point of time. So now the thing is that 1 year I followed that routine, and whether the temperature during that year was whatever 48 degrees Celsius, or I remember it was 2 degrees Celsius also on one of the days, it did not change. And that year remains one of the best years of my life. With experience, I am telling you that 1 year is a very long period of time. You can completely transform everything. I remember when I started preparation, I had very little understanding of most of these subjects. It's not that I did not consider myself to be intelligent enough. I always considered myself to be intelligent. It's just that कभी पढ़ा नहीं है तो कहाँ से आएगा? हमेशा पढ़ा ऐसे ही था कि एग्जाम से एक दिन पहले पढ़ो और 50-60 या जो भी इतना परसेंट आ जाए तो आप क्लियर हो जाओगे. Even when I went for class 12 board exams, I was never the brightest of student. I was always an average student. So I studied enough कि 70s, 80s आएगा. Even during school examination, even during board examination. ठीक है. But never that 95% वाला बच्चा. it's only after my undergraduation second year that I actually started studying. I actually started studying the entire day. ठीक है? So 1 year is a very very long period. आप मेहनत करोगे तो आप एक साल बाद देखोगे, आज का दिन याद कर लेना और आप एक साल बाद का दिन याद कर लेना. You will see that your personality has completely changed, and many of you will do it. So the only thing I want to communicate is अप्स एंड डाउन्स आएंगे जिंदगी में, वो सब चीज़ें होती रहती हैं, बट उसको सेल्फ डाउट पे कभी मत लेके जाना. इफ यू नॉट क्लियर एनी एग्जाम एक बार, it should not lead to a self-doubt वाली situation. Of course, you should analyze and see where you went wrong and improve it the next time. But it's not worth going for self-doubt. मतलब ये एग्जाम्स ऐसे होते हैं कि इसमें not clearing phase 1 and ultimate selection, इसमें आप देखोगे ना तो phase 1 के मार्क्स में इन दो कैंडिडेट्स के शायद 15 नंबर का अंतर हो, कुछ कैंडिडेट्स का और भी कम हो सकता है. सो 15 नंबर ऊपर नीचे और वो भी एक पर्टिकुलर एग्जाम, इसको सेल्फ डाउट पे बिल्कुल मत लेके जाना. इस साल जितने कैंडिडेट्स का क्लियर नहीं हुआ है, many of them will clear it next year, right? You already know that. So that's why preparation plan कीजिए अपनी, decide how you want to prepare and exert everything that you have. पूरी एनर्जी डाल के एक साथ प्रिपेयर कीजिए, एग्जाम दीजिए, right? So we'll end on that note. So to enroll, you already know where you have to go. Video courses are available only on the app, sir, if it is not available on the laptop. Okay, so, and test series, all tests will be available only on the website. You will have to go through the browser. There is also a form that you will have to fill if you are enrolling, be it in the test series or be it in the video course. We will share its link on the Telegram channel, right? So let's end this video here. I hope it was worth watching. Thank you.